From a salmon dinner that would run you $24 downtown, to a plate of shrimp and grits you'd swear came out of a fancy kitchen, eating well on a fixed income is not the fantasy folks make it out to be. So why do so many of us settle for a bowl of cereal at night, or skip dinner altogether? These are 30 dirt-cheap dinners for Black seniors living alone, and every single one comes in under $10 a plate. Real food. Warm portions. Cooked for one, without the waste and without emptying your wallet before the first of the month gets here. How does one person, cooking just for themselves, eat like they matter on a budget that has to stretch across a whole month? That's the whole question, and by the end of this, you'll have 30 answers to it. Cooking for one gets a bad name, but the truth is, it's your advantage. You scale everything down to your own appetite, you control the salt to your own taste, and tonight's dinner quietly becomes tomorrow's lunch, with nothing wasted. Keep a pen handy if you like to write things down, because some of these will surprise you with how little they cost. Let's get into it, starting with the plate that sets the whole tone. Number 30. Pan-seared salmon with roasted vegetables. This is the one that proves the whole point right out the gate. One salmon fillet laid down in a hot skillet until the outside turns golden, a handful of broccoli or green beans roasting on a sheet pan alongside it, one small potato cut into wedges, and a little oil with your seasoning. The whole plate runs about $7.50. One pan, maybe 20 minutes from start to sitting down at the table. Now walk into any sit-down restaurant and order that exact salmon dinner, and you're looking at $24 and up before the tip. Think about that for a second. Same fish, same vegetables, and you kept $16 in your own pocket just by turning on your own stove. Salmon cooks soft and flakes apart with the side of a fork, so it's gentle on the teeth, and those omega oils are good for the heart and the joints on top of it. Buy your fillet from the freezer section. If fresh is too dear that week, it's every bit as good. Start your week with this plate, and you set a standard. You are not somebody who eats scraps. You eat salmon on a Tuesday. Number 29. A small steak with mashed potatoes. If salmon set the tone, this one seals it. You do not need a giant slab of beef to feel like Sunday came early. A single small sirloin or a flat iron portion runs about $6.50. Add one potato mashed up with a little butter and milk and a simple vegetable on the side, and your whole plate lands right around $9. That same steak plate at a steakhouse crosses $30 easy in half the time the portion is too big to even finish. Sear that steak in a hot, dry pan for just a few minutes aside, then let it rest on the plate for 5 minutes so the juices settle back into the meat instead of running out. And here's the trick that keeps it tender. For older teeth, slice it thin, against the grain, so every bite gives easy. This is the plate you make when the check clears, when a grandchild is coming by, or when you just plain decide you have earned it. And you have. $9 for a steak dinner cooked exactly how you like it. No reservation, no dressing up, no waiting on a table. Number 28. One pan chicken and rice. Now we settle into the everyday, and this one is a workhorse. 2 bone-in chicken thighs, about a half cup of rice, a handful of frozen peas and carrots, and some broth with your seasoning all cooked together in one pot. The whole thing comes in around $4.25. The chicken goes soft and pulls right off the bone with no fight at all. The rice drinks up all that flavor, and there is almost nothing to wash when you're done. Now here is the part I love most for one person. This one makes enough that tomorrow night is already handled. Chicken and rice reheats beautifully with just a splash of water to loosen it. So you cook one time and you eat twice. That is real money saved, and it means one night this week you do not have to lift a finger at dinner time. Bone-in thighs cost far less than breasts, and they stay juicier. So your dollar goes further and your plate tastes better. For one pot and pocket change, this dinner does a whole lot of quiet work. Number 27. Salmon croquettes. If you grew up in a certain kind of kitchen, you already know these by heart. A can of salmon, an egg to hold it together, a little chopped onion, some crushed crackers or a spoon of cornmeal, and you shape it all into patties and fry them soft and golden in a skillet. One can makes 2 or 3 croquettes, and the whole plate comes to about $3.50. This is old-fashioned wisdom that never stopped working. Canned salmon keeps in the cupboard for a year or more, so there is nothing to spoil and nothing wasted, which is exactly what a solo shopper needs on the shelf. They fry up crisp on the outside and stay soft in the middle, easy to chew and full of flavor, and they carry a whole lot of memory in every bite. Serve them with a few crackers, a scoop of grits, or a little side salad, and you have got a real dinner for about the price of a cup of coffee. Make a couple extra, and they are just as good cold the next day. Number 26. Shrimp scampi for one. Here is one that tastes fancy and costs almost nothing. A handful of shrimp pulled straight from a bag in the freezer, about $4 for your portion. A serving of pasta, and then butter, garlic, a good squeeze of lemon, and a little parsley to finish. Plated up for around $6.75. The real secret here is that freezer bag. You buy the whole bag one time, then you only thaw a handful at a time under cool water. So a single bag stretches across many dinners instead of spoiling in the fridge before you get to it. Shrimp cooks in about 3 minutes flat, turning pink right before your eyes. So this is a lifesaver on a night when you do not have the energy for much standing. And it tastes like something you would pay $18 for at a restaurant with cloth napkins on the table. Light, buttery, a little bright from that lemon. Not bad at all for pocket change and 5 minutes at the stove. Toss the pasta right in the buttery pan so it soaks up every drop. Number 25. A baked chicken leg quarter with candied yams. This plate tastes like a holiday landed on a regular Wednesday. Leg quarters are one of the cheapest cuts in the whole store, and one seasoned up and baked until the skin turns crisp runs you about $1.50. Believe it or not. Add a sweet potato baked soft and finish with a little butter, brown sugar, and a shake of cinnamon. And the whole plate comes to about $4. The chicken slow bakes right in the oven until it is falling off the bone tender. So there is no hard chewing to worry about. And the yams turn out soft and sweet enough to feel like dessert snuck onto the same plate. This is comfort food that loves you right back, and it costs less than a gallon of milk. Set it in the oven, go rest your feet, or watch your program and let it cook itself. Bake 2 leg quarters at once, and lunch tomorrow is already sitting there waiting on you. Number 24. Pork chop with apples, sweet and savory in one skillet and cozy as a quilt on a cool night. One bone-in pork chop is about $3.50. Slice up 1 apple and half an onion, cook them down soft in a little butter with a splash of broth or apple cider, and spoon all of that right over the chop. The whole plate lands around $6.50. The apples turn tender and jammy. The onions go sweet. The pork stays juicy as long as you do not cook it too hard. And the whole thing smells like autumn the minute it hits the pan. Here is a tip for keeping that chop tender. Pull it off the heat while there is still just a whisper of pink in the center. Then let it rest a moment. It stays soft and easy to cut that way. It is a little bit sweet, a little bit savory, and it feels like somebody cooked it just for you, because somebody did. You did. This is the kind of dinner that makes an ordinary evening feel looked after. Number 23, red beans and rice with a little smoked sausage. Now here is a dollar stretcher with a whole lot of soul in it. A can or a small pot of red beans, a half cup of rice, and just a couple of coins of smoked sausage sliced in for flavor. The whole bowl comes to about $3.25, and it eats like a warm hug. Beans are one of the cheapest proteins in the entire store, and they are gentle on the stomach and soft enough to eat with just a spoon. This is one big warm bowl 1 spoon, and hardly a thing to clean up after. Make a small pot on Sunday, and it feeds you 2 or 3 nights running, getting better and richer each day as the flavors settle in together. A little smoked sausage goes a long way, so you do not need much, which keeps the cost right down at the bottom. If that sounds good to you, keep going, because the next one is straight comfort too.
Before we continue, I want to show you something amazing. We put together a simple guide for the people who really care about these stories. Because whether we're talking about old school food, forgotten trade, one truth remains the same. History is disappearing. This is for anyone who believes these memories, these lessons, these ways of life are still worth keeping. You can find it in the link in the description below, or you can scan the QR code right here.
Number 22, fish tacos for 1. Fresh, light, and cheaper than you would ever guess. 1 white fish fillet like tilapia is about $3. Warm 2 or 3 corn tortillas in a dry pan. Pile on some shredded cabbage and stir up a quick sauce from a spoon of plain yogurt and a squeeze of lime. The whole plate comes to about $5.50. Now, the real gift here is that cabbage. A whole head of cabbage costs almost nothing, and it keeps for weeks in the crisper drawer, which is exactly what one person needs, so nothing wilts and nothing gets tossed in the bin. The fish cooks in about 5 minutes and flakes soft into every bite. Season it however you like, a little chili powder and cumin, or just salt, pepper, and that lime. It is a bright, fresh dinner for a warm evening, when you do not want anything heavy sitting on you before bed, and you will have plenty of cabbage left over for the sausage skillet coming up later. Number 21, smothered turkey wings with gravy. This one is pure Sunday dinner comfort. No 2 ways about it. A couple of turkey wings seasoned well and baked low and slow, then smothered in a homemade onion gravy right there in the same pan. The whole plate runs about $5.50. Turkey wings are cheap, and they are meaty, and when you cook them slow, the meat gets so tender it slides right off the bone, which makes them easy on the teeth and a joy to eat. Make your gravy from the drippings in the pan with a little flour, some onion, and a cup of broth, and spoon it generous over a bed of rice or mashed potatoes. You end up with a plate that eats like a restaurant special for the price of a snack. And that is only the start of the comfort food coming your way in the back half of this list. Set the wings in the oven, go rest a while, and let the whole house fill up with the smell of them cooking. Number 20, chicken stir fry with fresh vegetables. When you want something a little lighter but still filling, this is your plate. 1 chicken breast sliced good and thin, a nice pile of fresh vegetables like bell pepper, onion, and carrot, some rice, and a quick sauce of soy, garlic, and ginger. All of it together comes to about $6.25. Everything cooks in one pan in under 10 minutes, and you're getting a real load of colorful vegetables in a single sitting, which is not always easy when you are cooking for one. The other quiet win here is that you are in complete control of the salt. Restaurant stir fry is loaded down with sodium, but at your own stove you use a light hand, and you can reach for low sodium soy sauce, which matters for the heart and the blood pressure as we get on in years. Slice that chicken nice and thin, and it cooks fast and stays tender. Colorful, fresh, and good for you, all from one pan and one cutting board. Number 19, a tuna melt on toast. Some nights you barely want to cook at all, and this plate respects that completely. A can of tuna mixed with a little mayonnaise, piled on a slice of toast, topped with cheese, and warmed until the cheese goes melty. The whole thing comes to about $3.25. There is next to no cooking here. Just a can, some bread, and a few minutes under the broiler or in the toaster oven. It comes out soft, warm, and easy to chew. And it uses shelf-stable tuna you can keep in the cupboard for months on end with zero waste. Add a slice of tomato or some pickle if you want to fancy it up, But it needs nothing more than what I said. On a low-energy evening, when your body is tired and cooking feels like a mountain, this is a warm, real dinner that asks almost nothing of you. Nobody ever said every single night has to be a production at the stove. Some nights, a good hot tuna melt is exactly enough, and there is no shame in that at all. Number 18. A personal-sized shepherd's pie. All the comfort of a big casserole and none of the whole week of leftovers you never quite finish. A small portion of ground beef or turkey cooked down with a handful of frozen mixed vegetables and a little broth, then topped with one potato mashed and baked golden and crisp on top. Made in a single ramekin or a small oven dish. The whole thing comes to about $5.75. This right here is the beauty of cooking for one done the smart way. You make exactly one serving, so there is no giant pan staring back at you from the fridge for 6 days straight until you are sick of the sight of it. It is soft all the way through, warm and hearty, and it feels like real home cooking in a size that actually fits your life and your appetite. Use frozen mixed vegetables so you only use what you need and the rest stays good in the freezer. One little dish, one satisfied person, and one small pan to wash. Number 17. A cabbage and smoked sausage skillet. Cheap, filling, and done and dusted in one pan. Slice up part of that head of cabbage you bought for the fish tacos. Cut a few coins of smoked sausage and let them cook down soft together in the skillet with a little seasoning and a splash of water to steam. The whole plate comes to about $4.25. Cabbage cooks down tender and turns a little sweet as it goes. The sausage gives it every bit of flavor it needs. And because that head of cabbage keeps for weeks, you can make this over and over without a single thing going bad. It is a one skillet dinner, soft and easy to chew and easy to clean up after. When your energy is low, it sticks to your ribs on a cold night and leaves you satisfied without leaving you heavy. Old-fashioned, humble, and it never once lets you down. This is the kind of plate our people have leaned on for generations because it works and it costs almost nothing. Number 16, shrimp and grits for one. Now this, right here, is the showstopper, and I put it dead in the middle on purpose. A handful of shrimp from that same freezer bag, cooked in a little butter and garlic until they curl up pink, spooned over a bowl of hot, creamy grits, cooked slow with a pat of butter and a little cheese stirred in. The whole bowl comes to about $6.50. Now sit down at any nice brunch spot and this exact dish is $18, $20. No question about it. You just made it in your own kitchen for about a third of that price. Grits are soft, warm, and about as easy to eat as food gets, which makes this a dream for tender teeth. And the shrimp cook in just a couple of minutes. Not many people think to make shrimp and grits for a solo dinner at home, but there is no rule anywhere that says a treat like this is only for company or only for restaurants. Make it for yourself on a slow Sunday morning or a quiet weeknight, and remember something. You are worth the good plate too. Number 15, a loaded grain bowl with grilled protein. This is your clean out the fridge friend, and it fights food waste like nothing else on this list. Start with some quick cooking grains, add a chicken thigh or a portion of shrimp, pile on whatever roasted or fresh vegetables you have got sitting around, and finish it with a simple dressing or just a drizzle of oil and vinegar. It comes to about $7, give or take whatever you already have on hand. The whole beauty of this, one, is the flexibility. Whatever odds and ends are hanging around the fridge, that half a pepper, that last handful of greens, they all go into the bowl so nothing gets thrown out and every dollar of your groceries actually gets eaten. For one person, that is real savings, because the food that ends up in the trash is the most expensive food there is. You pay for it, so eat it. Build it soft or crunchy, warm or cool, however your body is asking for it that particular day. There is no wrong way to make it. If these plates are giving you good ideas for the week, do me one small favor and tap that subscribe button down below. I put out cheap, comforting dinners for one every single week on this channel, and I would hate for you to miss the next batch of them. It is completely free, and it keeps these recipes coming right to you. Now, back to the kitchen. All right, so here is where it gets really good because the whole back half is loaded down with comfort. Number 14, chicken and dumplings for one. If there is a warmer bowl of food anywhere on this earth, I have not found it yet. A little shredded chicken simmered in seasoned broth with soft dumplings dropped right in and cooked until they turn pillowy and light. Scaled down to a single bowl, it comes to about $5.50. This is soft, spoonable food from the very first bite to the last, which makes it gentle on the teeth and easy on the stomach. A real blessing on a rough day. You can drop the dumplings from a simple flour and milk batter, or take the shortcut and cut up a canned biscuit or two. Either way works fine. It is the plate you want when it is raining outside, when your knees are aching, or when you just need something that feels like being taken care of by somebody who loves you. Make a small pot and it warms right back up the next day, just as good. Pure comfort in a bowl, and cheap on top of it. Number 13, pasta with Italian sausage. Fast, hearty, and it scales down clean to a single bowl with no leftovers to manage. One sausage link squeezed out of its casing and browned in the pan, a serving of pasta, a splash of canned tomato, or a little cream stirred in, some garlic and onion, and a dusting of Parmesan over the top. It comes to about $5.25. This one is on the table in 15 minutes flat, and it feels like a real Italian dinner without the Italian restaurant bill landing on you afterward. The sausage carries almost all the flavor, so you honestly do not need much else in the pan. Cook one link, boil one portion of pasta, and you have got a warm, satisfying bowl with nothing left over to go bad in the fridge. Buy your sausage links loose or freeze the extras from the pack so one purchase feeds you several nights down the road. Simple, filling, and quick on an evening when you want to eat well and be done with the dishes fast. Number 12, Southern baked whiting with cornbread. Fried fish and cornbread is a love language where I come from, and this is the easy, lighter version of it. A couple of whiting fillets seasoned up in cornmeal and baked in the oven instead of deep fried with a warm square of cornbread on the side. The whole plate comes to about $5.75. Whiting is one of the most affordable fish in the whole case. It is mild and never too fishy, and it flakes soft and easy to chew. Baking it instead of frying keeps it lighter on the stomach and honestly easier and safer to cook without standing over a pot of hot spitting grease. Just lay the seasoned fillets on a greased pan and bake until they flake. With that warm cornbread sitting right beside it, maybe a little butter melting into it, this is soul food that costs almost nothing and tastes exactly like home did on a Friday night. Make your cornbread in a small pan or even a muffin tin, so you are not stuck with a whole skillet of it. Number 11, a ground turkey and sweet potato skillet. Lean, soft, and a real all-in-one dinner. Brown a small portion of ground turkey in the skillet. Add a diced sweet potato and a splash of water. Cover it and let it cook down tender. Then season it up however you like. The whole skillet comes to about $5. Ground turkey is lean and gentle on the system, easier on digestion than heavier red meat, and the sweet potato brings a natural sweetness along with a big load of good vitamins your body wants as you age. It all cooks soft together in one single pan, so it is easy to chew and quick to clean up after. Throw in a handful of spinach or some frozen greens at the end if you want to green it up. This is an easy dinner that is kind to your body, soft on your teeth, and light on your wallet, all at the same time. One pan, one plate, and you have fed yourself something genuinely wholesome without any fuss whatsoever. Number 10, meatloaf for one with mashed potatoes. Nothing on God's earth says home quite like a good meatloaf. And yes, you can absolutely make one just for yourself. Shape a small portion of ground beef with a little onion, an egg, some breadcrumbs, and your seasoning into a single mini loaf. Bake it until it is done through, and set it right next to a scoop of buttery mashed potatoes. The whole plate comes to about $5.75. Making one small loaf means you get that whole Sunday dinner feeling without a giant meatloaf hanging around haunting your fridge for a solid week. It bakes up soft and savory, easy to cut with a fork, and it reheats like an absolute dream if you do decide you want a second night off from cooking. Brush a little ketchup on top before it bakes for that classic sweet glaze. This is old school comfort scaled right down to fit one person's life and one person's appetite, and it is about as satisfying as any $5 plate you will ever put in front of yourself. Number 9, black-eyed peas with cornbread. Good luck, good flavor, and good for the wallet, all in one warm bowl. A small pot of black-eyed peas, cooked soft with a little seasoning and maybe a bit of smoked turkey for depth, served with a square of cornbread to sop up all that liquor at the bottom. The whole thing comes to about $3.25. Peas are one of the cheapest, most filling proteins you can possibly buy. They are soft and easy to eat, and they sit real well on the stomach. Buy them dried, and a single cheap bag will feed you for ages, or grab a can when you want them quick. Make a small pot and it feeds you for days, getting richer and better every time you warm it back up. This is not just cheap eating. This is tradition in a bowl. The kind of food that has carried our folks through hard times for generations, and it costs less than a candy bar per serving. Humble, nourishing, and full of history. Number 8, liver and onions. Now this one is for those who know, and if you know, you know. A slice of beef liver cooked quick and hot, served under a big heap of onions caramelized down soft, sweet, and golden in the pan. The whole plate comes to about $4.50. Liver is one of the most nutritious and one of the most affordable meats in the entire store. Packed full of iron, which matters more and more as we get older and our bodies need the help. The one trick with liver is to cook it fast, just a couple of minutes aside, so it stays tender instead of turning tough, then pile those sweet onions right on top. If your mother or your grandmother used to make this on the stove, one single bite is going to take you right back to that kitchen. It is old-fashioned, it is rich and savory, and pound for pound, it is just about the best value for real nutrition you are going to find anywhere in that meat case. Number 7, baked ziti in a single dish. All the cheesy, bubbling comfort of a big family pan, sized right down to one person. A serving of pasta tossed with tomato sauce and a good handful of cheese, layered into a small oven dish and baked until it is bubbly and golden brown on top. It comes to about $4.75. Making it in one small dish means you get all that pull-apart, cheesy, baked pasta joy without a whole casserole you will still be eating come Thursday. It is soft, it is warm, and it is endlessly comforting on a quiet night. Use whatever cheese you have, mozzarella, a little cottage cheese, or ricotta if you have it. Even shredded cheddar works in a pinch. This is the plate for a cozy evening in front of the television with your feet up, and it costs less than $5 to make yourself genuinely happy. Sometimes a warm little dish of baked pasta really is the whole entire cure for a long, tiring day. Number 6, beef and vegetable stew for one. When the weather turns cold, this is the bowl you want simmering on the stove. A little stewed beef simmered slow and patient with potatoes, carrots, and onion in a rich, seasoned broth until every last bit of it goes fork tender. Scaled down to a small pot, it comes to about $5.25. Slow-cooked stewed beef gets soft enough to cut clean through with the side of a spoon, and the vegetables cook down easy to chew, so the whole bowl is gentle and safe to eat with no worry. And here is the best part. Stew is always even better on the second day once everything has had time to sit. So one small pot gives you 2 or 3 warm, hearty dinners for no extra work at all. Set it to a low simmer, let the house get warm and fragrant while it does its thing, and settle in with the bowl that tastes like it took all day and cost almost nothing to make. Number 5. An egg and potato skillet for dinner. Now, whoever said eggs are only for the morning? Some diced potato cooked soft in the skillet until the edge is crisp. A couple of eggs scrambled right in, and a little cheese or onion tossed in if you have got it. The whole plate comes to about $3, which makes it one of the very cheapest dinners on this entire list. Eggs are a soft, easy, complete protein. Potatoes fill you up good and proper, and it all happens in one single pan in about 10 minutes, start to finish. Breakfast for dinner is one of the quiet, great pleasures of living alone, because there is nobody around to tell you no. When the funds are running low, near the end of the month, and the check has not come yet, this plate has your back every time, and it still gives you something warm, real, and satisfying to sit down to. Add a slice of toast on the side, and you have got yourself a full, comforting supper for the price of loose change. Number 4. Collard greens with smoked turkey and cornbread. This right here is a plate of pure heritage, plain and simple. A pot of collard greens cooked down low and slow until tender, with a smoked turkey wing or leg thrown in for that deep smoky flavor, served alongside a square of warm cornbread. The whole plate comes to about $4.75. Using smoked turkey instead of a ham hock keeps it a touch lighter on the salt and the fat, while holding on to all that down-home soul. And greens cooked slow go soft and easy to eat. Collard greens are absolutely loaded with the good stuff your body is asking for. All those vitamins and that fiber, and a single big pot will feed you for several days running. This is Sunday dinner tradition that you can make any night of the week you please for less than $5, and it will taste exactly like somebody who loved you used to make it in that old kitchen. Do not throw out that pot liquor either. Sop it up with the cornbread. Number 3. A chicken salad plate. Cool, soft, and no cooking required at all if you plan it right. Take some leftover chicken or the meat pulled off a store rotisserie bird, chop it up fine, and mix it with a little mayonnaise, some chopped celery, or a few grapes if you like a little sweetness, and your seasoning. Serve it on soft bread, over crackers, or on a bed of lettuce. The whole plate comes to about $4. This is the perfect way to stretch one rotisserie chicken across several different meals. So absolutely nothing goes to waste, and one single bird quietly becomes 3 or 4 dinners over the week. It is soft, it is easy to chew, and it needs no stove at all, which is a real blessing on a hot day or a tired evening when you cannot bear the thought of heat. Cool, creamy, and gentle. This is the plate that proves eating well sometimes just means being a little bit clever with what you already have in the fridge. Number 2. Smothered pork neck bones with rice. Now here is some deep, old-school flavor for pure pocket change. Neck bones are about the cheapest cut in the whole store, and folks overlook them, but when you cook them low and slow, they turn out incredibly tender, smothered in rich brown gravy and spooned over a scoop of white rice. The whole plate comes to about $4.75. This is patient food, the kind you season up, set on low, and let time do all the hard work on while you go about your day. And the payoff is meat that falls right off the bone. Soft and easy to eat, with none of the toughness. That savory gravy soaking down into the rice is comfort cooking at its absolute finest. It is the kind of plate that reminds you of a simple truth our grandmothers all knew by heart. The cheapest cuts of meat, cooked with a little care and a little time, very often taste the very best of all. Do not let anybody tell you cheap food cannot be glorious. Number 1. A catfish poboy for one. We started this whole thing with salmon, and we are going to finish it with a treat. because you have more than earned one by now. A catfish or whiting fillet, seasoned in cornmeal and cooked crisp, tucked into a soft roll with a little shredded lettuce, a slice of tomato, and a swipe of tartar or hot sauce. The whole sandwich comes to about $5.50. Now go order a poboy just like this, one at any seafood spot, and you are paying $12, $14 easy. Before you even add a drink, you just made a better one at home for less than half that. It is warm, it is crisp, it is deeply satisfying, and it feels like a little celebration sitting right there on your plate. And that, right there, is the whole entire spirit of these 30 dinners. You are not too old, you are not too alone, and you are not too tight on money to eat food that makes you feel good about your day. You never once were. So let's bring it all the way home now. 30 full dinners, every last one of them under $10, and the very best of the bunch, prove the whole point I set out to make. That $7 salmon that beats a $24 restaurant plate, hands down. That $9 steak for your Sunday when the check clears. That $6 bowl of shrimp and grits you would pay $20 for out at brunch. And then a whole long lineup of soul food comfort behind them, from smothered turkey wings to slow-cooked collard greens to neck bones falling off the bone over rice, most of them landing right around $4 and $5 a plate. Here is what I truly hope you take with you tonight and hold on to. Cooking for one is not sad, and it is not settling for less. It is you deciding, one meal at a time, one evening at a time, that you're still worth a warm, real home-cooked plate of food. That salmon on a Tuesday, that steak when the money comes in, that bowl of shrimp and grits made just for you, by you, in your own kitchen, on your own terms. If this whole list gave you even a few brand new ideas for your week, do this one single thing for me before you go. Hit that subscribe button. I share cheap, comforting dinners for one on this channel every single week, and next time I am breaking down a whole entire week of dinners for one person for under $50 total. Start to finish, groceries and all. You are not going to want to miss that one. So go on and subscribe, then go make yourself something good to eat tonight. You deserve it, and I will see you again in the very next one.